Welcome to Bodhi Unified Flow. I'm Dr. Marimuthu. Today, we are analysing the architecture of integrated governance. In many organisations, pre-construction planning, procurement, contract management, and supply chain execution operate as isolated silos. This fragmentation results in communication breakdowns, vendor disputes, and significant resource bleeding throughout the project lifecycle. These functions exist as a single, continuous, integrated ecosystem. Mastering this integrated governance aligns a project's strategic intent with its physical execution, providing the oversight necessary to manage complex global networks. The mechanism that controls and measures this ecosystem is the stage-gate methodology. A stage is where the work happens. Teams generate deliverables, but momentum stops at a vertical barrier, called a gate. Here, stakeholders make a choice: proceed with a go, terminate with a kill, pause on hold, or recycle for further work. Two frameworks populate these stages: Contract Lifecycle Management, which handles legal agreements, and the SCORE model, which governs supply chain operations. Applying these rigorous gates to these frameworks replaces ambiguous project risks with a structured, data-driven execution model. The project lifecycle begins with front-end planning, which aligns with the pre-award phase in contract management. The buyer defines requirements, conducts market research, and formulates an acquisition plan. This matches the plan process in the SCORE supply chain model. This phase balances aggregate demand with supply and establishes the capacity parameters for the project. To pass the first major gate, teams must provide specific deliverables: a business case, a feasibility study, and a formal project charter. Gatekeepers evaluate these documents for strategic fit and technical feasibility before authorizing the project to move forward. Enforcing these requirements at the first gate ensures that resources are only allocated to projects with a verified business case. Once planning is approved, the project moves to market engagement. This is the source phase of the SCOR model, the procurement of goods and services to meet the planned demand. Sourcing involves evaluating potential vendors and issuing formal requests for quotation. Procurement uses sequential gates to systematically filter the market, identifying suppliers who can meet performance expectations. The gate deliverables here include a qualified vendor pool and a profile analysis scorecard that ranks supplier capability against technical requirements. Stakeholders advance only the frontrunners to the final selection phase. These data-driven gates verify vendor capability and secure competitive pricing before the organization enters any binding legal commitments. Following selection, the project enters the contract award phase. The focus shifts to negotiating commercial terms, final pricing, and the allocation of risk. Gate deliverables for this stage include a negotiation playbook and a finalized price agreement. This phase culminates in the executed contract, signed by authorized personnel from both parties. The signed document establishes a legally protected relationship and officially authorizes the allocation of all necessary project resources. Once the contract is active, it moves into the post-award phase. Organizations monitor service level agreements and track compliance against contractual milestones. This directly corresponds to the SCORE make process, where raw resources are actively transformed into a finished state. It also includes the deliver process, covering order management, warehousing, and transportation. Execution is tracked using implementation roadmaps and KPI baselines. Operationally, gatekeepers authorize invoice payments and approve change orders based on these performance metrics. Strict post-award governance prevents budget overruns and ensures the negotiated value is realized during physical execution. As the project nears its end, the life cycle enters the closure phase. The final SCORE process, return, manages the reverse logistics of defective products, excess inventory, or reusable packaging. Closing the project requires a final financial reconciliation and a validation of the achieved ROI. Teams must also document lessons learned to identify systemic successes or failures. This proper closure process ensures a clean release of resources and provides the exact data necessary to improve future procurement cycles. This architecture demonstrates procurement, contracts, and supply chains are a single integrated system. Contract Lifecycle Management provides the legal framework. The SCORE model provides the operational blueprint. The stage-gate methodology acts as the decision engine, synchronizing processes at specific checkpoints. By defining these gates, organizations can map deliverables across the CLM and SCORE frameworks with precision. I'm Dr. Marimuthu, and this is Bodhi Unified Flow. We simplify complexity to amplify performance. By enforcing definitive deliverables at clear checkpoints, organizations create a predictable, data-driven system for managing supply chain complexity.